Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Carteret County where 3 people are now facing charges after a traffic stop. Now on Thursday, Carteret County Sheriff's Office says they pulled over a car entering the county following an investigation into suspected drug trafficking. During the stop, deputies arrested Jerry Travis, William Bell, and Leah Gibson, all photographed on your screen. Now, deputies say they found fentanyl, meth, and a 9mm handgun during a search. All 3 people in the car were identified as convicted felons. 36-year-old Travis of Havelock was charged with trafficking a Schedule II controlled substance, fentanyl, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver a Schedule II controlled substance, which is methamphetamine, and possession of a firearm by a felon. 46-year-old Bell of Beaufort and 37-year-old Gibson of Havelock were both charged with possession of a firearm by a felon. All 3 were taken to the Carteret County Jail. Travis was booked under a $750,000 bond. Bell is facing a $100,000 bond, while Gibson is in jail under a $25,000 bond. And now we want to turn our attention again to President Trump's reaction to the Supreme Court overturning his tariff policy. NBC's Garrett Haake has more from the White House.
President Trump preparing to address the nation tonight.
It's going to be a long speech because we have so much to talk about.
On Monday, speaking to a gathering of families of Americans killed by undocumented immigrants, the president previewing possible applause lines.
We have a country that's now doing well. We have the greatest economy we've ever had. We restored our border, and that's now totally secure, and our country is at the safest level it's been in many, many years.
But recent polls show Americans don't share the president's positivity, with his approval rating hovering just below 40%. The public souring on his handling of the economy and even immigration, long his signature issue, though the president has shrugged off negative polls. The president is expected to unveil new domestic policies aimed at tackling affordability. Among them, a new commitment from tech companies to pay increased electricity costs in communities where new AI data centers are being built. President Trump also expected to devote a portion of his speech to foreign policy against the backdrop of a U.S. military buildup in the Middle East as the president weighs a strike on Iran. Dozens of Democrats plan to skip the speech tonight in protest.
It's important to show the American public that someone that has led the single most corrupt government in U.S. history, that there has to be action against that.
Others will use their guests to send a message, including several lawmakers inviting survivors of abuse by Jeffrey Epstein, and newly elected Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger delivering the Democrats' response.
And again, that was Garrett Haake reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast, and today it's a cool day, similar to yesterday. Winds are going to be a little bit lighter as we head through this afternoon, but we've got plenty of sunshine to go around. You would think that with that sunshine, we would warm up a little bit more than we have, but again, currently it is still chilly outside. Looking at the mid to upper 30s across most of eastern North Carolina, we do have the low 40s showing up in Jacksonville, Beaufort, along with Oriental. Overall, today is again going to be a cool day, similar to yesterday. Going to be staying around 10 to 15 degrees cooler than our seasonal average. A lot of that has to do with the northwesterly wind flow that currently is pushing winds in at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Those winds will gradually swing around to the southwest later on today, but it's not going to be happening fast enough to create any sort of major temperature jump later on this afternoon. We will see the temperatures rise thanks to that shift in the breeze, but it's more coming in tomorrow rather than today. So you're going to have to wait a little bit before you can really get the benefits of those south-southwesterly winds. But they're going to stick with us through the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow morning, and that will help carry our air temperatures back into the low 60s. Of course, as we talk about this, we will have a front that tries to work its way near eastern North Carolina. A lot of the cold air won't fully make it into the east because Thursday we're going to have, again, a stronger push of southwesterly air coming in from the Gulf that will kind of push that cold air out a little bit further, kind of keep it from sinking too far south into eastern North Carolina, and that's going to give us an opportunity for the mid-60s coming up on Thursday. Now, we're not going to be staying warm. We will see air temperatures drop by about 10 degrees from Thursday into Friday. But then through this next weekend, we are looking at improving conditions. We're looking at drier weather, air temperatures rising into the low 60s by Saturday, mid to upper 60s by Sunday, and plenty of sunshine to go around. Now, the cloud cover will return in full by the time we reach Monday and Tuesday of next week, each day featuring about a 20% chance of rain. But this weekend, again, is going to be feeling quite nice. It should be a nice complement to some Pirate baseball. Well, that's all we have time for today's 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday.